Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Sunday Night Coffee Talk. Wow, look at how busy it is. I see Air Frying Auntie, Carrie, Sharon is here, Tutu Cute Cat. Good to see you. Oh my goodness. Our awesome moderator, Tilla. So wow, both moderators here. Oh, and Coda Bear has joined us. What a lovely showing of people here. So of course, my animals have been asleep all day, and the minute it's live stream time, they are all here, all around here, lurking. Crazy. I see Bluegrass Girl Goes Keto is here. Good to see you. And Lisa's here listening. How nice. So let's see. So I don't know. I kind of want to get this in. I know that we'll have some people join us. Hey, Miriam. Nice to see you. And I'm kind of starting without the intro. And I'm sorry, I don't know why the lighting is weird, except for I believe that my hall light just lost a light. And I think that is making it darker than usual, but it is what it is. Hey, Janice. Good to see you. Delaware. Nice. So I wrote that we're making a cheater chicken tikka masala. And there are several reasons of why I'm calling it cheater. I put the ingredients in the description. We're going to talk through it as I cook it, but it's cheater. It's not authentic anything, so like nobody come at me. This is a semi homemade, quick and easy meal prep for the week. So that's what we're doing. Hey, yo, Hungry Heath says the warden just lowered his ears, so he feels 10 pounds lighter. Oh, so we can see your new haircut soon. All right, so, but this has to cook for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and get this spread out on my sheet and throw it in the oven. My oven is preheated to 375, and it'll go, I don't know, we'll have to check it at like 20, 25 minutes. I've kind of got a lot of chicken here, but I wrote in the description that I cut my chicken into bite-sized pieces, and then I mix it together with garlic, ginger, cilantro, all pasted up, and then with this actually says it's a tikka masala mix, but I talked to the person who created the recipe, so it also has like the chili powder and the extra cumin and stuff in it, and so that's part of the cheater, is that I got a pre-mixed blend. I did add a little extra black pepper and some red chili flakes, but just for the marinade. And then Greek yogurt, the really, really thick, like when you make it yourself, or if you buy commercial, strain it out of it. And let me just, and you can see it's not watery. The reason you need that super thick yogurt is because you don't want your marinade to be watery. That would be the biggest disruption. But you can see it's one big old glob. We'll spread it out so it has some time. Now, if you were making chicken tikka masala from in a non-cheatery way, you would not cut your chicken up ahead of time, and you would actually marinate it, and then you would throw it on your grill, which we might do. We might revisit this recipe and do a nicer version in the summer when we want to stand outside. And there was no way I could have known that it was actually going to be nice enough to be outside. But I'm just going to spread this out and then toss it in the oven. I lined my baking pan because I am lazy. I lined it with tin foil and then with parchment, so nothing is going to stick to it, etc., etc. But you just throw it all on there. It'll all come out really lovely. All that spreading. I'm just messing around with the chicken, it feels like. But really, you don't want it to be, you want it to be in a single layer, not like stacked up, because then your chicken won't cook even. So, but here we are. We're in good shape here. And like I said, you would toss these marinated pieces into the grill, and your yogurt sauce would char up and get kind of almost blackened. That's not quite what's going to happen here, but we'll show you when it comes out. It is going to be thoroughly cooked, and that's the important part. And that yogurt sauce will, some of it, because I don't have a rack to put this on, so it is going to get a little bit saucier than a lot of chicken tikka would. Hey, Just Jason Keto, nice to see you again. And Rickwin has joined us. All right, I'm just going to throw this so you can see right into the oven. Oh, my tray is heavy. But toss that right in. I will set a timer so I don't forget this time. Sometimes I try to just do it like as if we're going to pay attention. I put 25 minutes. We'll try to check it a little bit before time, but no guarantees. So let's see. Carrie says, Radical Geek is so chicken. Well, we are eating chicken. Lots of hellos back and forth, more jokes and fun commentary from Carrie. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get my tea brewing because I would like to have that for this evening. Oh, Marion Roberts says, no ginger today. Just a, oh no. Hopefully you don't have a real bad case. I know it feels really miserable. All right, so, and in fact, this clove tea would be nice for you, unfortunately. This is clove leaf. Before I throw it in here, let me bring some up and show you. Oops, that was too much. Well, that'll work. So, normally what you see with the dried clove, this is clove leaf. So you can see it looks, you know, like tea, but this is the leaves from the clove. Clove is actually a flower, and those dried hard cloves that we usually get is actually the dried flower bud. In this case, we're using the leaf, and just trying to make sure I get the right amount into my teapot here. It's fluffy, so yeah, I have to keep that in mind that it will bloom up quite a lot. All right. It's nice. It doesn't have that heavy, stinging, really high spice clove smell. Instead, it has slightly herbal with a light clove, and that is one of the benefits to the clove leaf, is that it still has that lovely warmth of the clove, but not as punch you in the face clove. It does still have some of those same properties, so it'll it helps if it'll make you feel a little bit better if you've got tooth pain. It's anti-inflammatory. Hey, good evening, Mike Sandy. Yeah, he says, good evening. We was a nice day here today, getting the shed ground set up and loosely put in today. Yeah, I saw a picture of that, and I was like, yeah, you're right. It is time to start getting ready for the plants to move outside. But I want to make sure we get that one last frost or the big snow that we have before I put any seedlings out. So this is a dried flower leaf. So I do have my water boiling. It's not like tea where we need to rinse it and wash it. It's not going to get the bitters. Boy, when you put the water on, now the clove smell is hitting way more than the dry in the container. Really nice. And you can see that it immediately begins to get like a nice little golden color. So the thing about clove, well, many things about clove, and especially clove leaf, the leaves are actually what they would make a clove essential oil out of. You want to make sure that you are paying attention to the source, et cetera, there from the Indonesia region. And for now, we can go ahead and put this out of the way. Cloves are actually really big, tall plants. So that's a fact that I don't know if you would know. So we'll let that steep for a little bit, and then we'll take it out and set it aside and enjoy our tea. Like all flowers, it's high in antioxidants. They do have studies in progress showing that clove can contribute to lowering blood sugars. They do tell you that not to drink it all day, every day, because then there can be negative repercussions. But if you have just to have a glass or two every so often, which, as you know, you can see I have a lot of different flowers, teas, herbs, etc. So nothing I have is all the time. I rotate stuff. Some days actually I have more water or gamer sups or my salty. I have a wide variety of beverages. So, but the clove tea, the other thing is it is quite, it does help with your gut health. And if you have gas or bloating, clove helps reduce that. So, and it has a small amount of like minerals. So a natural source of copper, which is really hard to get. And that's often why people like Dr. Barry talk about needing mineral supplements. So, yeah. Oh, Sharon, I got it at CAM. CAM actually has like a whole shelf at the end cap with like 9 million flowered teas. So that's why I like to go there and I buy them and just really have built my little herbal tea collection. Just gonna lift it a little bit. It's very hot. And make sure I give it some space here to fully bloom because the leaves need to expand. So yeah, so that's our clove tea. Really, really nice and on all of that front. So remember, so really nice for your gut health. If you've had, if you have tooth pain, the tea is maybe not as sturdy as when you have, remember when you were a kid how awful it was that like your grandma would put the clove oil right on your gums, but you had relief to help you make it through until you could get to the dentist, or at least for a couple hours. This is really nice for that. It also helps with general antibacterial and antifungal, so that's nice in your mouth as well. It's not a substitute for brushing. Brush your teeth morning and night, and if you can't do morning and night, then make it a nighttime brush. Most dentists will tell you that, and especially hygienists will too. It's better to do morning and night, but if you can only manage one, make it the nighttime. So, air frying Andy, the flavor is the same and less intense, so it's way more mellow. So yes, it is the same flavor because it's the same plant, but softened. Hey, Keto Simple, nice to see you. Oh yeah, and good wishes to Carrie, who's going to work on downsizing and selling his house. That'll be awesome. Still trying to get a computer job. Man, the IT and computer jobs in general are so hard right now. Whew. It is a tough market. I know you'll get there. Just be patient. It'll happen. Just like I said, especially the last quarter and this first and second quarter of 2024, the technology industry is just hurting so bad. Oh, and Sharon says she'll be in the city on Wednesday for her hair appointment. Nice. Good to know. Oh, maybe we can. Well, Wednesday is kind of tough. I was gonna be like, maybe I'll meet up with you. I'll sneak away, and then I was like, oh wait, Wednesday, forget it. Carrie says that he found that David's toothpaste, and it has I can't read it because it's gotten so small on my screen. Oh, I'm sorry, I have to lean in and see. Remineralizing elements for teeth. That's interesting. I didn't even know that was a thing. And then a Barely Begun adds that clove oil was a lifesaver for years until he finally got his wisdom teeth pulled. It would clear up infections when they popped up. Wow, yeah. So it's really got a lot of potential. Now, it's way too hot for me to drink. It is going to have to sit for a minute, but that's all right. But check it out. It looks nice, right? And it smells even nicer. It almost has like a gentle green tea smell to it with just like that after scent of clove. All right. So let me check the timer. Oh, wow, you guys, 10 minutes already passed? Well, we already did quite a lot. So, all right, let's talk about these beverages here. So, because also I'm going to take a drink. Actually, I'll wait. I'm going to open this one. So earlier today, I was saying it's such a nice day. I want to go out for a walk. And then I said, you know what? I haven't had a soda in like a really long time. A Coke Zero, actually. I haven't had a Coke Zero, an actual zero. Like I've tasted like some weird Coke flavors that they've released and stuff like that. But to like sit down and drink a soda for just having the soda's sake, I haven't had one in a really long time. And I was like, it's a beautiful sunshiny day. A nice icy fountain Coke Zero sounds really good. And I walked all the way down to the gas station. We walked around the new little shopping plaza to see what was showing up. And we went in, and I was all set to buy my soda. And then I saw this Core Hydration Plus, a pink grapefruit flavor with vitamin C, biotin, and zinc. So all of those are great. You know, biotin's great for your hair. Vitamin C is a nice immune system booster and all of that. Let's see what we got here in the comments. Oh, Rickwan's having peppermint tea tonight. I've got her drinking tea in the evening again. It's a nice way to relax. It is nice. It really makes me feel good. Oh, that's another thing. The clove tea helps reduce anxiety, and so it also helps mellow you down for the evening so you can get to sleep a little bit easier. But at any rate, this is it's just like it's water with some little enhancers to it, nothing to it. The entire bottle is a serving, and it's zero everything. It has water, ascorbic acid for vitamin C, pink grapefruit extract, zinc sulfate, and biotin. And it tastes nice. You know, it's flavored water, so you know it's a little kiss of the grapefruit citrus flavor. And I've drank about a little less than half of it, and yeah, I would probably be willing to buy it again. But while we were there, I found this Monster drink. And just so you know, canned water is evidently all the rage. This is Monster Tour water. It's their Monster sparkling water, sparkling deep well water. It's not an energy drink. It's canned water. It's called Vans Warped Tour. I don't know if I can, let me just show you this can because it's ridiculously silly. So hopefully you can see it. Yeah, so it's got like the robot and like the post-apocalyptic disastery stuff on it. And Vans Warped Tour, the satellites, and then there's the whole spiel about the water. And it says here, well, there's a tiny little cat here in the corner of the kitchen awaiting their opportunity. They're not quite there yet. They're learning. They're a little bit faster now. So anyways, this tour water says it's pure clean water is the elixir of life. Put it in a can, please. That would be nice. It's like Dr. Seuss, right? It says we need it now or the buses won't roll. The bands, they won't play. That, my friend, would be a very bad day. So said Kevin Lyman Circus, master of the punked out Vans Warped Tour Anna Domini 2003. Of course, we stepped up and made the original tour water. We've been making it for our events, artists, and athletes ever since, but never made it available for the greatest fans, until now, that is. We tracked down great tasting water from local sources to cut down the freight effect. They packed it in infinitely recyclable aluminum cans and dug up some of the original tour water art for the can graphics just to make it look sexy. It doesn't give you energy, but WTF, you gotta drink water sometimes or else you're gonna die. So let's try it. It's nice fizzy water. It almost has a little bit of like mineral water taste, which probably comes because it's well water, and well water does get that. You guys, don't come at me. I think you know what I'm going to say. Yes, it's better than the death water. I'm not sad drinking that. So again, though, I won't buy it too often because I will, because I do have my seltzer water bottle maker. So, but it's empty right now, and I'll make fresh one in the morning. So yeah. Let's see. Oh, Rickwin says, two crazy ketos were talking about canned water on one of their road trips. It seemed rather strange way to have water for her, but the can you have is interesting. Yeah, I love it. Actually, I'm a big fan of canned water because while still not the best for the environment, it's way better than plastic. So steps. Keto Simple says Rockstar and such had cans of water for artists to drink on tours sponsored by Rockstar and such, but they never sold it. That's correct. These companies never sold it, but once Death Water and oh, what's that other one? Attila, was it O2 with the osmosis water, reverse osmosis? Several canned waters came on the market, and they're really popular, especially with athletes. So yeah, that's been a thing. Still too hot. So let's talk about this tikka masala because the chicken has 10 minutes in there. Let's bring the pan over. I've started to soften some onions. So let's go ahead and turn this back on and get everything warmed up. I use lard. A real masala sauce would, or gravy or curry sauce, whatever you want to call it, would usually have mustard oil. But you know, we're not fond of mustard. We're not fond of seed oils in the ketogenic lifestyle. I don't think beef tallow is the right profile for it. So I went with some lard because I don't have any ghee and I did not want to spend the time to make it. Coda Bear says now he's going to have to try it. And so told me I was a social influencer. Not even a little bit. So let's see. And yes, I know I'm missing a ton of comments. You guys are just, I'm terrible at comments. I'm not one of the good people who can keep up and read them all. Bluegrass Girl Goes Keto says, canned water for all. I'm really digging it. It's like the right kind, it's the right level of carbonation. It's fizzy and bubbly, but it's not like so bubbly that it's spicy, if you know what I mean. Interesting. I'm okay, Monster Energy. I don't care. I used to be a very prolific drinker of Monster Energy drinks, and when I went keto, they became not the best choice because they're higher in carbs than other brands. I definitely liked Bang energy drinks a lot, but I've come around to Ghost as being my favorite when I have them. I actually find myself having energy drinks significantly less. So occasionally I'll have a Zip Fizz for the Mega Dose B12. I have some C4s, and they've actually been here a while. Like I've actually found that the Gamer Sets, even when I'm using the caffeine-free one, have been sustaining me. Adding the nootropic in has helped me reduce my desire for energy drinks. And as someone with ADHD, energy drinks weren't to keep me awake and powered. A lot of times it actually helps me relax. Sometimes I'll have a nice, great big cup of regular coffee before bed because it'll make me go to sleep. It's a weird way the neurology, actually I read a study on it about how the receptor cells come together differently for the different kinds of brains, and that's why people with ADHD tend to get mellower with caffeine. Mike Sandy says, Ghost tropical mango every once in a while here. Oh, that sounds good. And Keto Simple says he's the biggest fan of OG throwback zero sugar rock stars. Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't know. Have you tried the Ghost energy drinks? They've got an orange cream one that is really fantastic tasting. Anyways, I'm going to put the sauce together, and then we're going to really have a conversation about masala. This is, I'm just going to say it, that I am being that American. I have taken something and I've completely bastardized it for my own uses. So take it with what you will. This is by no means would you go and find some lovely Briton with a curry shop telling you that this was good masala. However, it does taste good. So just one of those things. And you did hear me say it, Britain. So I'm going to throw in my garlic. Lots of garlic, probably more than the average person would use, but by now you know that I love my garlic. So we're going to have a lot of garlic. Get that toasted. And I'm also going to throw in some more pasted cilantro and pasted ginger. And if you're wondering why pasted versus fresh, that's because when I went shopping, the cilantro looked not good. And so it's better for me to use pasted up cilantro for that flavor. All right, so let me just, it smells really nice now. Let's see, move this a little bit so I can see. Frequent says she stays away from energy drinks because it seems to affect her heart and makes it beat too fast. Yeah, definitely then you would like to avoid them. They can cause problems for some people, and so it's very important to pay attention to that. It's one of the things that is actually really not good is that people want to drink more than one a day, and there's really they should really pay attention to those limits because they can impact your cardiovascular system in the long run if you overindulge. If you have one once in a while or even one a day, it's probably fine, but you should pay attention to how much caffeine you have over the course of the day, whether that be from tea, from coffee, and energy drinks. Sharon says, garlic, too much. She's been asked by her other half to cut back at times. Oh, well, I won't cut it. I won't count it against him today. And Air Fry Nanny says, never too much garlic. So, all right, so I've got these softened, and the onions got little toasty bits on the ends. You could cut up bell pepper into this mix. I've seen it. I didn't have a bell pepper, and I don't like it in my masala. Sometimes in Indian restaurants, you'll find peas or other weird things in there. There are 9 million variants of masala, and surprise, they're all genuine. It's sort of like marinara sauce or spaghetti sauce or, any lasagnas. Everybody has a recipe from their grandma way back. They're all the same. So what I did was I took 2 cans of tomatoes, hot controversy whether you should use diced tomatoes, break down fresh tomatoes, use tomato sauce, use passata. And let me tell you, if you get into food forums, the fights will break out over it. So I used what I like for my masala, and that is the Roma tomatoes from the can. I do get the Kirkland organic ones because they have like a nice sweet kind of flavor profile. I blended one of them up so it was super smooth, and then I left the other one chunky. And I just pour that in here. And like I said, it's basically pretty easy. And you can do all kinds of different avenues for building this sauce. But the next couple parts, we go ahead and add in this salt and pepper. I bet the counter's getting cleaned up in a jiffy. Right now we have a nice little spaghetti squash sauce. Pour that on some roasted spaghetti squash and add a little Parmesan. But we're making masala, so I like it chunky. And there's an important reason for that, which we will talk about after I add our masala. Now, this Tikka masala spice blend is actually by a company called Manis. They're a local Ohio company. She's from New Albany, Ohio. It's woman-owned and created. And she built this because, well, for exactly this kind of reason. We live in the Midwest. People do love the flavors of Indian foods, but it can very easily be overwhelming because it's like 14, 15 spices. And to do it all from scratch, toasting and everything, maybe it's a lot for people. And she wanted to create a way that people could do this themselves at home. And she has a line of several of these, and I was like, fine, let's try it. Now, I will tell you, I have different garam masala, and I've made my own. Let me check this. Ooh, it's way watery. It's going to be a challenge to get it out of there. All right. I'm going to let it go a little longer, and then I'll check the chicken but let me get this sauce going. You use a lot of spice. I mean, I'm going to use 3 tablespoons, and then we'll give it a taste and see if we need more. The other thing, though, is that she does mention all of her spice mixes are gluten-free, nut-free, salt-free, sugar-free. So you do have to add your own salt, but that's all right. We're in favor of that. Managing your own, which means then that you can add your own non-iodized salt, which we prefer in ketogenic food plans. So she really did a great job of making this an accessible spice blend for everybody. Very easy to use. And like I said, I just get tired sometimes. And did I want to spend like 4 or 5 hours toasting up my spices and stuff? Not this weekend. Hey, knock it off, you two. My cats are fighting over nothing. I don't even know what they've got there. Ridiculous. Oh, Mike Sandy's asking if you could use Rotel with this. I would say that Rotel would be utterly gross. Rotel is really way too acidic and will go sour really fast in a sauce. It's one thing if you're using Rotel to mix with like nacho cheese, which will mask the highly acidic and cheap mixed blend of the tomatoes. But in a sauce like this, where the tomatoes are a really big forefront, Rotel is terrible. So I would not recommend that. So let's see. Let's give it a little taste. It's good. It needs a little more of this. I'm just going to dump it in. Okay, a lot more. Maybe carry it away. But I felt like it needed it. And then it just needs to warm for a little bit and come together. So I would say for like if you're spice adverse, this is also nice because while I can taste a little bit of the spice in there, it's really not. Anybody could eat it. So it's air fry and anti-friendly. And the brand is called Manis, M-A-A-N-I-S. So I'll see if I can pop it in the comment in the next couple days after this post up and get a thing for it. So what you would normally do at this stage, like we just want our tomatoes to cook a little bit more. But what you would normally do at this stage is you would then now add heavy cream. But this is our meal prep, and I want it to stay really nice for several days in the fridge. And we have other uses for the heavy cream we've got, and I didn't want to go buy more or add dairy. Plus, I wanted to show that you could make it dairy-free for a lot of people who are dairy-free. So I'm using my coconut milk. I also just love coconut milk. This is like the anti-masala. Coconut milk does not go in here because it's masala, not your coconut Thai curry. But we're doing it anyways. Why not? We're breaking all the rules. Now, I've talked about having tikka masala in the past. And one of the things that people have asked when we've talked about the ingredients, what's the difference? They taste kind of similar, whether it's butter chicken or chicken masala, or any number, or a mild red curry. And so first of all, tikka, again, is the small cubes of meat, so the bite-sized meat. Tandoori baked would be the large pieces, the whole pieces. So you would always have bite-sized bits in your masala sauce, or well on your plate for your tikka. Tikka is the small chunks of meat, and the masala is the gravy. The main difference between masala and your butter chicken is that butter chicken is butter and cream at the end, and also butter chicken is 100% smooth, and it does not have the onions and pieces in it. Whereas here we've got the tomato chunks and the onion chunks and the garlic minced up. So, and like I said, in some places you'll find things like peas or the green pepper. Those things would not be in your butter chicken, or if they are, it's going to be blended before it hits the dish. So that's your main differences. So, but you're right, it is very similar in flavor profile. All right. Let me just, it needs a little bit more stirring and just sitting here. Then I got to try and wrestle this chicken out of the oven. All of the water is pooled up on it because I didn't have a rack for it to drip onto. So I got to really be careful with it. So I can't bring it over here yet, but I've got a bowl here. So I'm going to put some of the chicken in there so I can bring it to you and show you. So you'll have to be patient with me. I'll keep talking. It's really close. It's a little bit tomatoey still. Actually, I'm going to add a little more salt and black pepper. And Sharon says she doesn't mind hot, but she needs it to be flavorful as well. And Air Frying Annie says she needs a few days break from coconut milk / cream. Absolutely. But like I said, traditionally, oh, that was too much salt. I must have overground. You would actually use heavy cream at the end, a cup of heavy cream, and I did put that in the description, so that's there. Air Frying Annie says she loves it. Don't get it wrong, but she got some bad coconut cream, and it wasn't a pleasant experience. Yeah, no, it definitely. I get that. So, all right, let me just give this a little bit of another stir, and one more taste. And that's the other thing, is you do have to kind of taste and as you go along, because sometimes you do need to make mild adjustments. Sometimes you might need a pinch of sweetener. Sometimes it's just a matter of it needing to sit longer or to cook down together a little bit more. Sometimes you need it to be zippier, and hence the black pepper. You just have to kind of unfortunately, sauces like this are very much an instinctual cooking thing. There's no, you can't really give that whole, exactly put 1/2 teaspoon and 2 tablespoons because it has tomatoes, which are highly variable in flavor profile, and things like the spice mixture themselves hits people's palates differently. That was it. Perfect. All right, we're just going to set this sauce to the side. I'm going to figure out how to get this out of the oven, so have some patience, chat amongst yourselves. Give me some facts. Tell me some things that you're interested in. Really boost up the chat. Maybe Attila or Air Frying Annie, you guys can ask some questions or give some weird facts while I rustle this chicken. It just... So the other thing I have, and I just put a little bit in my dish for my supper, is I made a cilantro lime cauliflower rice. Woo! All right. Ooh. All right. Oh, it looks good. I know you can't see it from there, but it is looking lovely. Let me get a spoon. to grab this chicken and bring it up there to show you how it comes all cooked, all nice with that lovely yogurt and spice. I probably shouldn't have got a metal bowl. It's already hot and hurting my hand. So let me bring this and show you. Check that out. Does that not look awesome? Like you could just eat the chicken and it would be amazing. All right. I can deal with the rest of this after the live stream. And it can come to temperature. Let me assemble my dinner so you guys can see it. So I just made, like I said, the cilantro lime cauli rice. I've got the rest of it in the fridge for the meal prep. And that's real easy. You just grate your cauliflower, cook it off nice and dry and fluffy in the microwave. Then you mix in a little bit of lime juice, salt, and your cilantro and give it a toss. From here, you go ahead and you put your chicken on. One more piece. Trying to get like just one piece, you know, like it's easy to scoop. All right. And then we're going to put our sauce on top. And I'll bring you the whole plate so you can see it. Look at that. Wow, we're a lickety split. Probably because some of it is the pre-cooking. But and yes, you could mix the chicken right into the sauce, which I may after the fact, but right now that's not what I'm doing. And there you go, the finished dish. It's hot, so I have to let it sit for a second. Let me turn my oven off so I don't forget. Don't you hate when you do that? You don't want to leave that. Let's see. Let's go back in here now and really pay attention here. Let's see. Oh, Carrie made a cheese joke for us, and he says he can. I can do that being a carry to get carried away. Yep. And hey, Visual Keto, good to see you tonight. So, oh yeah, we'd like to hear what Hungry Heat's having for dinner. What the warden make tonight? Visual Keto says it looks yummy. She was at eating a bunch of fish fillets cooked in butter with garlic and lemon seasoning. That sounds good. It's one of my favorites. And Rickwin says somewhere in between Shauna heat and Shelly heat levels. Sometimes we'll go more spicy, but not crazy about hot. It really has to taste good to me. I love hot, but it cannot just be hot for the sake of hot. It has to taste good. Air frying, let's see. Now it's about the coconut oil. Oh, Sharon reminds everybody to give me a thumbs up. Oh, let's see. Attila says there was a cat sighting. I don't know where it went, but yeah, the animals are awake now. Oh, let's see. Air Fry Nanny says she loves cats, but she's allergic. Yeah. That makes it, that means you can't have one. But if you take an allergy pill, you can see the cats. That way it'd be short. And Air Fry Nanny's asking how the cats are all getting along. I'm going to say like 95% of the time, even maybe a little bit higher, they're getting along just fine. Every so often, there's like a little bit of cat punching, but it's very minimal, and they're not hissing and growling or are fighting. So it's very much just like getting to know and feel each other out. So that's a good thing. Carrie says it looks good. Sharon agrees it looks really, really yummy. He says the cats are surly but okay. Let's see. Air Frying says Charlie. Sharon's cat Charlie is her girl. Yep. More compliments on the looks of the food. And Visual Keto says she likes a little spice and warmth, like Air Frying Auntie, but kind of the Kesso at a restaurant, kind of warm. Burnt out all of her spicy taste buds a year ago. So yeah, so this sauce would be fine for you. It's got just a little hint, but not too much. It's really very mild. Oh, Hungry He says the warden's making Salisbury steak topped with a mushroom gravy with a side of Brussels sprouts and stuffies. What are stuffies? Are those stuffed mushrooms or stuffed jalapeno poppers? I'm just curious. What are stuffies? Let's see. Efrain says, yeah, she doesn't pet or touch her face when she. Okay, that makes sense with the cats. Let's see. Oh, the cat was blocked by the monster can. Well, it moved on. It's not here anymore. She's gone. I assume that it was Ichika. Hungry He says that the Salisbury steaks smell great. Are you guys going to release the video on that? Or have we already done? I know I haven't done Salisbury steaks on camera. Have you? I don't know. I feel like someone has. I just don't remember who. But let's take a bite. And yes, the chicken is so tender that I can cut right through the chunk with a spoon. I love it. It's so good. And I'm glad this is our one of our meals for the week. Oh, Airfryer Annie, she's still there. Oh, yeah, I can see her. Okay. Well, that's fine. She kind of blends in a little more because of it being dark in that room. Oh, and Hungry He says, no, he was just corrected. It's actually smothered steak. Ooh, it sounds really good, though. Like, I think you should do that video. And if not, but I'm going to have to put Salisbury steaks on the menu. And I don't know. Hey, Tilla, do you like Salisbury steaks? Just curious. It's good. Yeah. So this is a winter dish for us. So we should maybe have Salisbury steaks in the not too far future. I don't know when. But yeah, it'll be interesting. And Hungry Heath, I was telling everybody, we've been talking about your guys' trip next year. I'm going to have to reach out to you and Shelly and throw some ideas around and see if we can get plotting a little bit. The warden, hey, Shelly, got a few minutes while the burgers swim in the gravy. Man, I was telling you, the Salisbury steak sounds really good, or rather, the smothered steaks sound really good. Okay, I can finish eating later. Let me try the teas. The teas finally come to temperature that I can drink. Oh, it's nice. And it pairs really well with this dish because the sweetness that comes from the clove leaf and the slight clove flavor blends with all of those masala spices. Nice. I am a happy person right now. I got my favorites here. I love dishes like this. I am a big sparkling water fan. I like my flowering teas, so this is like a great end to the weekend. And it'd be sad when I go back to work in the morning, but it'll still be good. Let's see, what else do we got going on? Yeah. Oh, so anyways, yeah, just so you know, for those of you who weren't on the Hungry Horde, Shelly and Heath are planning in 2025, late in the first quarter, to do like a cross-country trip where they'll be able to see people. They're going to wind up here in Ohio at one point, so we can have a big Ohio meetup. Keto Simple, gather your peeps so you all can come visit, and we'll have a great big old nice lovely meetup. Let's see. And I think that we will have a really good time. I've got my plotting ideas, and I think that when Shelly and I get together, that we really can do something up pretty awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm very excited. Oh, and the warden says Heath already created a Google Doc. Well, that'll be pretty good. That's a great start. I've got some ideas to share with you guys too. The warden says she loves tikka masala. We'll have to make this. Someone is craving fried tenders, so we'll have to get enough to make tikka too. Ooh, yeah. Actually, you know what I was thinking is I like the battered chicken tenders, but I was actually thinking what would be better is I like the idea of the battered steak bites. Maybe like the strips of steak and then battered and air fried. Like you just get cheap steak because you don't want to ruin a good steak like that. But just like your cheap flank or whatever, I think that would be really good. Let's see. Hungry He says he's looking to get there in time for KetOH-IO. What do you? Well, KetOH-IO is not any sort of scheduled event. It's just different people or different influencers when we host meetups. So there is no in time for KetOH-IO. Those don't have like any scheduled cadence. It's like whenever Don feels like having one, there's a meetup. So we'll just decide whenever you guys are going to be here, we're just going to plan something, and I can reserve whatever we need to do so. Let's see what. And Barely Begun says Shauna. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, you guys. I feel really bad. I would. It'd be nice, but we'll figure something out. I'd actually like to go west at some point. It's been a lot of years, and I have family in LA still. So I know that's not near Napa Valley, but in addition to LA, I also have family in the Fresno area. So, and Fresno is not that far from like Morro Bay, and San Luis Obispo is my very favorite place in the whole wide world. So, yeah, there's all kinds of cool places to go in the East Coast or in the West Coast. Oh my gosh, what am I? I'm losing it. There's all kinds of cool places on the West Coast. Oh, and Air Fry Nanny says she loves San Luis Obispo. So some of my favorite things were when I was like about high school aged. I used to get to go to California, and I would work in Morro Bay, but I had friends in the university at San Luis Obispo, and so we would get to go there, and I loved. I think it was even weird. I think it was like a Wednesday when they would have their open air market, and it was their farmers market, but like all the restaurants would come out to the street, and I don't know if they still do that, but it was just my very favorite. It was the best of times. Let's see. The warden says maybe they can fly to Napa and then rent a car to Oregon, and Shauna can ride with her. That's an interesting idea. Hungry He says he wants to go visit everyone. He stinks because you have a high school buddy that lives in Oakland and wouldn't be able to see either. Yeah, it's just hard. Like I know people all over the country. One of the things that being a nerd that goes to conventions and who has been doing so for multiple decades, you make friends all across the country. So it is what it is. I just see people in pockets. So, and that's what we all have to do. So, if you do your cross-country trip this way, in 2025, maybe some of us can plan a trip out west and make our way from Texas to California and then up north to, Washington and Oregon and all of that kind of stuff. Could be. There's just lots of stuff going on. I'd also love to get down to New Orleans and see some of my friends there. I have a person that I just absolutely love to pieces who I met in Cincinnati, and she moved down to NOLA. And of course, that beloved Rhonda of ours, she lives down there too. So I would love it. I would love to go see my friends down there. I also have several other people. My friend Regina lives down there, so it would be high value for me to go down there. I know a lot of people in the area, so it's in my mind that I'd love to go sometime. Oh man, it's really just perfect. Yeah, thrilled. Our friend Annie says she lived in Louisiana for nearly 2 years and never made it to NOLA. I can see how that can happen. Attila says Americans think 100 years is a long time and Europeans think 100 miles is a long distance. That's very true. It's perception from your region. Oh, and Air Fry Annie says, but it was right after Katrina. Oh, that would make it rough. Then it was not so great. And they actually appreciated you not going there during that time. And Carrie says, I have cats for my teas to be perfect. So, and by the way, extra shout out. Thank you, Coda Bear. I had like a really shitty week. And so I got a care package from Coda Bear, and it had a toy for Dyson, a toy for the cats with catnip in it, and a tote bag with 2 of my favorite fabrics. So, and a sweet, sweet, sweet note that just, man, it made the whole shitty week just like go away and feel so much better. So I really appreciate that. Oh, also some packages of the KetOH-IO cream of mushroom. So I'm very grateful because I like their soups. We give the sauce a stir. You got to be careful too with these because, by the way, I'm aware that it's going to get spicier, and I'm okay with that. But just so you know, if you put a lot of spice in there, it's going to get spicier. So plan accordingly. If it's only a little underspiced, you probably don't want to add more, and you want to let it be. All right. Just giving that a little bit more of a stir. I'm going to go ahead and turn the temperature down because it has cooked down enough and come together. And it's a couple minutes early, but I think we can call it a night. I really loved sharing my meal with you. So I hope that it was inspired you to try new spices and different teas and herbs. And also, don't be afraid to try weird little products you find on the shelf that look groovy. So I will see you guys soon. You have an awesome, awesome evening. And I'll see you a little bit later. Bye-bye.